Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Getting back to work on the Cobra in this video. Last video on the Cobra, I was able to get the T5 transmission reinstalled. This one I'm going to be picking up with, just getting all the ancillary items put back into place. Drive shaft, shift lever, hooking up speedo cable, clutch cable, things along those lines. Getting that many steps closer to getting this thing running again. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get the camera turned around and get to work. Real quick before I get started working on the Cobra, at the end of my videos, I tend to mention some items that I have available for sale, and I want to take a quick moment to show you one of such items. These are all available through my Teespring store, and I decided to go ahead and order some items so I could at least show you what is out there. What I'm wearing right now is the Comfort tee that is available in multiple colors, and then there are multiple other items available with this photo on them, as well as some other photos related to the Cobra, Jeep, MR2, and some of the other vehicles or items that I'm interested in. So if you want to check it out, there should be a link to the store in the description of this video, as well as a link to this specific item. I do appreciate you watching, and time to get back to work. All right, here is the stubby drive shaft ready to go back in. I did double check all the U-joints are nice and firm, no looseness or slops, so we're good there. So I'm just gonna put some oil on the outside of the yoke as well as the inner splines just to make sure it goes in the back of the transmission good. And then I can go ahead and start getting the bolts put in place to get this thing installed. All right, as you can see, I got the drive shaft in the back of the transmission. I actually had to put the drive shaft kind of on top of the differential to get it to go in. Pretty much buried it in there, and as you can see, it's not going to line up. So you're going to need to put a jack under the rear end in order to get things bolt up here, because it's just, it's that small of a distance and that tight of a clearance, things like that. So I'm going to go ahead, grab a jack, get it under the rear end, jack it up a little bit, and then I can start getting the bolts put in place, and then work on getting everything torqued down. All right, there it is, drive shaft reinstalled. Those are all 12 millimeter, 12 point. Best way to tighten them is have it set up where you have two on the bottom here and you have access, and set the e-brake as well as put it into gear, or otherwise you will spin the rear end. The e-brake won't hold it alone because you have to torque these to 95 foot-pounds. So that's what I did, put it in first gear, set the e-brake, did the bottom two, released both those, spun it around 180 degrees, and then did the other two. So all set there. And then also while I was down here, I went ahead and reinstalled the wire holders for the main power line and the wiring that goes to the rear brakes, because those all had to be removed for access to get the transmission out of here. So now I'm going to head up top and get the shifter installed. All right, back up top, I got the two lower bolts that I need to install in the shifter lever off the transmission. For me, it's a 1/2 inch. For you, it might be something different, depends on what shifter you're running. So I'm gonna get those tightened down in place, and then I've got the 4 screws to put the trim ring and rubber boot back in place, and that will wrap up getting the shifter reinstalled. All right, and shifter and trim ring reinstalled, so that's good up here. Next up on the list, I need to get the clutch cable and speedo cable all reinstalled. All right, for the clutch cable, I have both a firewall adjuster up here and then it's adjustable on the end of the cable. I backed it down most of the way up here because this is a brand new clutch and it's going to be tightened as time goes on. So yeah, you don't want to go all the way down, but this way I can tighten it pretty good just using the rod at the bottom, and then as the thing wears in, I can just come up here and put a turn in it as need be. So just a little idea there on what to do. All right, back underneath, and I started reinstalling the cable. You can see, you run the grounded end through the bell housing. There's a stay for it, and then I ran the adjustable rod through the fork. There's an outer hole, and then you've got a long nut that has like a cup on the one end that fits into a notch on the fork, and then you've got the jam nut that goes on the end. But here is the dilemma. Like I was talking about, leaving the adjuster up top in as much as possible. Well, right here I'm near tight, but still even a little bit loose. If you have a cover like this to cover this hole, that threaded rod is going to be too long. You can see kind of where the bell housing ends, so that I can't put this cover on all the way with the rod where it's at. So I would either need to take a hacksaw to the rod or adjust the adjuster on the firewall out a little bit, which that's what I'm going to do. So not optimal, but you'll still have some adjustment in it. but just something to think about if you have the adjustable clutch cable and you have the fork cover from Ford. All right, I used a 1/2 inch wrench and a 1/2 inch socket to tighten the jam nut and the main nut that sits in like the little groove in place. And then I put the cover on and used a 3/8 socket to tighten the bolt that holds the cover in place. So that is all reassembled there. Just need to do a fine adjustment up top as far as where I want the clutch pedal to be. All right, well, I've got the clutch pedal adjusted pretty much where I want it. The problem is I've pretty much maxed out the adjuster up here, so I think I'm gonna have to go back down below at some point in time and cut some of that stud down on the adjustable cable, because I mean there's still a little bit of looseness in here, which you want like, you know, about 1/8 of an inch, and you can see that's about what I've got there. But that's pretty much maxed out on tightening, so as the clutch wears in, it's really gonna have nowhere to go. So something I'm gonna have to deal with in the future, so heads up on that if you have the adjustable clutch cable and you still have that cover. And I mean, I never had an issue with the old clutch, but the engagement point might be very different on this new spec clutch, so something to think about. All right, so it is the next day, and I thought about last night, and it was stupid for me to, you know, kind of leave this as it was and come back to it. So as you can see, I just cut down probably 5/8 of an inch off of the stud there using a death wheel. So I'm gonna go ahead, loosen things up top on the adjuster, and then I can tighten things back up down here. And that way the adjuster is just much more usable. Just stupid to not do this now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that fixed, and then I will move on. All right, everything readjusted, and that's much better. I have, you know, a good amount of adjustability left up top. So yeah, that's the smart thing to do. So all set there, on to the next. All right, next up is the speedo cable. Got some oil on the O-ring and housing and everything, so it's ready to go in. One little bolt's gonna hold it into the retaining hole up there. For me, it is a 7/16 or 11 mil ratchet, wrench, whatever you use on your end. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this installed. All right, next up is the starter and wiring. Cleaned it up, wiped it down, so it looks a lot better. And it's gonna be, the 2 bolts are 9/16, and then the nut for the wiring should be a 1/2 inch, at least it is in my situation. No torque specs found, so just go, you know, the whole good and tight methodology. So I'm gonna get this installed on the engine. All right, and starter back in place as well as the wiring, so good to go there. All right, and the other part of the starter install kinda was replacing that bolt that you see there, which holds the wiring harness bracket as well as the clutch cable bracket to the timing cover. That was removed when I, you know, had the timing cover off, obviously. But now everything is nice and in place. That wiring's not dangling or anything like that underneath. That is a 1/2 inch bolt if you need to know. All right, back under the car, and I think I'm down to the last few things that I need to do under here. The list I have is putting ATF in the transmission, getting that topped off. The 2 block drains, I need to reseal and tighten those. You can see one up there, right there. I need to reinstall the lower radiator hose on both ends, both the water pump and the radiator. And I need to install the new oil filter since, you know, everything's getting changed on this. So once those 4 things are done, I should be complete under the car, and then everything else that needs to be done will be back up on top of the engine, you know, reinstalling the intake and all the upper coolant hoses, filling it with fluids, all that fun stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead. I've got 3 quarts of Valvoline Dexmerc, which that is the correct fluid, and I've got a suction gun, which you can definitely see right there. I'm going to use that to go ahead and get this stuff installed in the T5. I think it's like 2.7 quarts, something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get to work. All right, just over 2.5 quarts in, you can see kind of the mark on the bottle there, and then these other 2 have just a little bit left in the bottom because the suction gun wouldn't get it all out. But if I stick my finger in the fill hole and feel where the lip is of the hole, you can feel the fluid is right there. So just about to come out the hole. So that is all the fluid it needs. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the plug in there and get it tightened down. I'll put some ARP thread sealer on the plug as well. I am not going to over tighten it because if you follow this channel, you will remember that I had to drill the old one out because it was frozen in place because somebody before me did over tighten it. so make sure you are not over tightening the fill or drain plugs in the transmission. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that wrapped up. All right, and reinstalled, so all set there. Next up are gonna be the 2 block drains for the coolant. One is on the passenger front by the motor mount right there, and then the other is the opposite corner, driver rear, right there above the clutch cable. And those are 9/16 head bolts, well, or plugs, and I'm just gonna do the same thing, use some ARP sealer on those and just get them tightened down. All right, and block drains reinstalled. There's the driver and there's the passenger, so everything's nice and sealed up and tight. Next on the list is the lower radiator hose, so I'm gonna go ahead, grab a flathead screwdriver, and then I can start putting the hose on the 2 outlet ports, the water pump up there and the radiator over there. All right, you can see the clamp is on the lower hose there, as well as up top here. So that's the lower radiator hose reinstalled. So the last thing I need to do under here is grab a drain pan and swap out this oil filter. As you can see, I use the Five Racing 51515R. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the old one, get the new one installed, and that should wrap up everything under the car. All right, and new filter is installed. Since this is, straight up and down, I did go ahead and pre-fill it with oil as well, and put some oil on the rubber seal. I was wrong. I did replace this. It's a 51515XP. This one isn't the R filter. I guess I just bought an XP instead, but I mean it's still a good filter. Run those on all my other stuff. So there we go. Filter is installed, and that is the last thing I need to do underneath before getting this thing running. All right, and with that, I'm gonna end this video here. Next video should hopefully be the last one, and maybe get this thing running in that video. As you can see, I basically just need to get the rest of the cooling system plumbed up. There's one hose I need to replace, and then just reconnect everything. I need to fill it with oil. I'm going to prime the oil system because it was all apart. And then I need to put in the fuel injection throttle body and whatnot, get all that hooked back up. And then hopefully it will be time to hear this thing come to life. So if you like what you see and you want to follow along, please hit like, please hit subscribe, please hit the notification bell. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I do review them. I will reply. I do have a second YouTube channel devoted to firearms. If that's something that interests you, there's a link in the description. Please check it out. I also have a Rumble channel where I post the same firearm content. If you're on Rumble, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe to me there. Link in the description as well. Have some items for sale, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video. There is a link in the description, and you might see some of the items below the video. That being said, thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.